Once you drive a Subaru, you never look back. More than just a slogan, this phrase is practically a vow of loyalty among those who've experienced driving one. The company of the 6 stars holds an enviable record. It has been recognized by J.D. Power as the brand with the highest customer loyalty in the entire automotive industry for 3 consecutive years. And not just in any market, but in the most competitive and profitable one on the planet, the United States. Subaru may not reach the sales volume of Japanese giants like Toyota, Honda, or Nissan, but its impact and identity are undeniable. While other brands followed traditional paths, Subaru chose a different road. Boxer engines, permanent all-wheel drive, and an engineering philosophy focused on stability, safety, and a true connection with the road. With that commitment, they conquered the most brutal rally stages, alongside the unforgettable Colin McRae and the roar of the WRX STI. But what lies beneath their past? How did they go from building warplanes to creating WRC legends? How did they rise from the devastation of World War II in Japan? And what do the 6 stars in their logo truly represent? Today, we travel deep into 20th century Japan to uncover the origins, the rise, and the legacy of Subaru Corporation. The brand that doesn't aim to please everyone, but to win over for life those who choose it. To understand Subaru's story, we must first go back to the roots of its parent company, Nakajima Aircraft Company, founded in 1917 by a visionary named Chikuhei Nakajima. A naval engineer and pioneering pilot, Chikuhei Nakajima was born on January 1, 1884, in Oita, on the island of Kyushu. He graduated from the Imperial Japanese Naval Engineering School in 1903, and just 8 years later, rose to the rank of captain after successfully piloting the first Japanese airship in history. His passion for aviation led him to the United States, where he trained with the legendary Glenn Curtiss, becoming one of Japan's first certified pilots. But he returned home with more than a license. He returned with an obsession: to design aircraft of his own. After developing an improved version of the Farman seaplane, he decided the time had come to strike out on his own. In 1917, he left the Navy and founded his own company, Nihon Hikoki Seisakusho, the forerunner of what would become Nakajima Aircraft Company. He secured the financial backing of Seibei Kawanishi, another aviation enthusiast. But the partnership faltered, and Chikuhei renamed the company after himself. Thus, Nakajima Aircraft was born. During the 1920s, as Japan ramped up military spending, aviation became a strategic industry. Thanks to his military connections and technical acumen, Nakajima quickly positioned himself as one of the empire's top aircraft manufacturers. Simultaneously, he embarked on multiple technical missions to Europe, studying aeronautical advancements in France and Germany, and bringing back key innovations to Japan. In the early 1930s, pushed by his political circle, Chikuhei stepped away from the company to focus entirely on politics. Leadership then passed to his brother, Yoshizo Nakajima, who oversaw the company's massive expansion during the war years. Under his direction, legendary aircraft like the Nakajima Ki, 43 Hayabusa, and Kai 84 Hayate were born, mainstays of the Japanese Air Force on the front lines. By 1939, at the height of the World War II, Nakajima Aircraft had become one of Japan's largest military suppliers, alongside Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, employing more than 50,000 workers. But the end of the war would bring about its downfall. In 1945, following Japan's surrender, the company was dismantled, its facilities confiscated by Allied forces, and its name changed to Fuji Sangyo Company. For the next 4 years, the former aircraft factories were repurposed to build civilian goods, body panels, small engines, scooters, and machinery. Anything that could help a ruined nation begin to rebuild. By the mid-20th century, everything changed again. As part of the Allied reforms to break up Japan's powerful family-run conglomerates, known as Zaibatsu, Fuji Sangyo was divided into 12 independent companies. In 1953, 5 of those companies reunited, founding a new industrial entity, Fuji Heavy Industries Limited, better known by its initials, FHI. Driven by one of its most visionary engineers, Kenji Kita, FHI wouldn't just resume machinery production, it would set its sights on an entirely new industry: automobiles. The creation of Fuji Heavy Industries is a powerful example of the post-war corporate reinvention that reshaped Japan. Under the leadership of visionary Kenji Kita, the company's first president, FHI launched a strategic transformation, shifting from industrial equipment manufacturing to the production of high-quality civilian vehicles as part of Japan's broader economic recovery. That same year, FHI introduced its automotive division under the name Subaru, accompanied by the iconic blue logo with 6 stars. Subaru is the Japanese name for the Pleiades star cluster in the constellation Taurus. In Japanese, it also means to unite, a tribute to the reunion of the 5 companies that formed FHI. Subaru became the first Japanese automaker to adopt a name with such deep cultural roots, enhancing its emotional connection and brand recognition within the national market. 1 year later, in 1954, they unveiled the Subaru 1500, known internally as the P1. It was a pioneering prototype, but costly to produce. Logistical inexperience and reliance on imported parts limited production to just 20 units. 14 were sold to private customers and 6 were used as taxis in rigorous endurance tests, which, notably, they passed successfully. 4 years later, in 1958, Subaru overcame its initial struggles and achieved its first major commercial success, the Subaru 360. Nicknamed the Japanese Beetle, this lightweight, affordable, and reliable vehicle became a symbol of Japan's post-war industrial revival, with over 392,000 units sold over a 12-year span. At the time, the Japanese government offered tax incentives to automakers that produced small utility vehicles to stimulate economic growth. Capitalizing on this, Subaru launched the Sambar in 1961, a microvan built for tight urban spaces. Its practicality earned it a commercial lifespan of nearly 5 decades, with its final version released in 2012. Building on the success of the 360 and Sambar, Subaru looked toward a promising future. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, the company solidified its identity under the technical leadership of engineer Shinroku Momose, who spearheaded the development of their next milestone vehicle. Looking to stand out from competitors using conventional inline or V-type engines, Subaru chose a horizontally opposed Boxer engine, inspired by German models like Volkswagen and Porsche. This configuration offered a lower center of gravity, reduced vibrations, and better overall balance. The result emerged in 1966 with the Subaru 1000, equipped with a 977 cubic centimeter EA52 Boxer engine and front-wheel drive. Although only around 4,000 units were produced, the model caught the attention of automotive giant Nissan, which acquired 20.4% of FHI shares, providing critical capital for Subaru's expansion. In 1969, Subaru evolved with the Subaru 1100, released in the United States as the FF1 Star. Unlike its predecessor, this model featured independent suspension on all four wheels, significantly improving ride comfort and performance. By the 1970s, the six-star brand had achieved a clear identity and a distinct technical philosophy, but it still lacked a product that could elevate it to global respect. That moment arrived in 1972 with the launch of the Subaru Leone. Powered by 1.2 to 1.8-liter boxer engines and equipped with four-wheel drive, the Leone became the first mass-produced civilian vehicle with full-time four-wheel drive. Its versatility made it a hit in rural Japan, as well as in key overseas markets like Australia and the United States, where it was sold in sedan, coupe, and especially popular station wagon versions. Since then, Subaru has remained true to its core values: boxer engines, full-time all-wheel drive, and a consistent commitment to stability, safety, and real driving connection. That DNA would become the foundation for its future domination in the World Rally Championship. In the late 1970s, Subaru began expanding its international reach through new variants of the Leone, particularly the DL and GL models, which became popular across the Americas. Alongside this momentum came models like the Subaru Rex, a city car in the A segment that rivaled the Suzuki Alto and even made its way into markets such as Chile. Then, in 1978, Subaru introduced the quirky Subaru Brat, a lightweight off-roader famous in the United States for its rear-facing seats mounted in the cargo bed, perfect for mountain trails and rural terrain. But it was during the 1980s that Subaru truly left its mark on the global stage. In 1984, they launched the Justy, a subcompact car offered in both front-wheel and all-wheel drive configurations. It stood out for featuring a CVT transmission, a rarity at the time, making it remarkably fuel-efficient. The Justy would go on to span 4 generations. 5 years later, in 1989, Subaru launched what would become its greatest commercial success of the decade, the Legacy. Targeted at the mid-size family sedan segment, it was also available as a station wagon and ultimately surpassed 3 million units sold. That same year marked the beginning of Subaru's historic legacy in the World Rally Championship, WRC, with the Legacy RS officially debuting in the competition. Just 1 year later, the Legacy set a world record certified by the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, FIA. It covered 62,000 miles at an average speed of 138 miles per hour, completing the feat in 447 hours and 44 minutes. The accomplishment sealed Subaru's reputation for unbeatable endurance and reliability. By then, Subaru had become globally synonymous with reliability, but its most legendary icon was yet to come, the Impreza. Unveiled in 1993, the Impreza was designed to replace the Legacy in motorsport, specifically tailored to meet new WRC regulations. However, Subaru's moment of rally glory didn't arrive until 1995, when it partnered with one of the greatest rally drivers of all time, Colin McRae. That year's WRX STI version, with its iconic blue livery and yellow accents, became a cult classic in the motorsport world. Its rivalry with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution became immortalized in rally history. In 1995, 1996, and 1997, Subaru secured 3 consecutive WRC championships, winning titles as Best Manufacturer, Best Car, and best driver. If in doubt, flat out. Colin McRae's iconic mantra before each race perfectly captured his fearless drive to push every limit and leave everything on the track. These victories had a direct impact on Subaru's global sales, especially for models like the Impreza, the Outback, launched in 1995, and the Forester, introduced in 1997. To celebrate the 40th anniversary of the original Subaru 360, the company launched the legendary 22B STI in 1998, a limited edition of only 400 units, featuring 272 horsepower and 363 Newton-meters of torque. Today, it's a prized collector's item among Subaru enthusiasts. The decade closed with a significant shift. Nissan sold its 20.4% stake in FHI to General Motors. Although the GM era was short-lived, it gave birth to unique models like the Baja and the Tribeca, closing what would forever be remembered as Subaru's golden era. The early years of the new millennium marked a shift in Subaru's long-term strategy, one that still defines the brand today. Yet, throughout these changes, Subaru has remained true to the core identity it forged from the very beginning. After acquiring Nissan's stake in Fuji Heavy Industries, FHI, and facing severe financial trouble across its own brands, General Motors sold off its shares in 2005. That same year, a new Japanese powerhouse saw great potential in Subaru's technology. Toyota stepped in, purchasing an 8.7% stake, and just 3 years later, increased its holding to 16.5%, forming a strategic alliance that would shape Subaru's future. This period of change coincided with major accolades for Subaru. In 2006 and 2008, the brand received global recognition for its EJ20 engine, a direct descendant of its Golden Rally era, which won the International Engine of the Year award in both the 2.0 and 2.5-liter categories. Yet 2008 also marked the end of an era. Subaru officially withdrew from the WRC. Though the company claimed its mission in motorsport had been fulfilled, the economic downturn of the time heavily influenced the decision, allowing Subaru to focus fully on consumer markets. That same year, they launched EyeSight, an advanced driver assistance system that officially debuted in the US in 2012, setting a new benchmark in safety and comfort. 2012 also saw the most iconic result of the Toyota-Subaru partnership: the launch of the Subaru BRZ, twin sibling to the Toyota 86. These affordable, timeless sports cars received critical acclaim and continue to sell roughly 8,000 units annually across their 2 generations. Thanks to Toyota's influence, Subaru doubled down on safety and driving experience. Models like the Crosstrek and Ascent found major success in the SUV segment, both equipped with Subaru's signature symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Sales have seen steady growth ever since. In the US alone, Subaru tripled its annual deliveries since 2006, reaching an all-time record of 722,280 units in 2022. The Outback and Forester remain the brand's undisputed champions. In 2017, as part of a rebranding for global impact, Fuji Heavy Industries officially adopted the name Subaru Corporation, completing a full-circle evolution that began back in 1917 with Nakajima Aircraft. Today, Subaru remains a name synonymous with safety, comfort, and performance, still riding on the legacy of its rally days. In 2023, the brand employed more than 35,000 people and reported $27 billion in revenue. Its strongest markets, Japan, the United States, and Europe, are defined by something rare in the automotive world: unshakable loyalty. Subaru customers don't just come back, they become obsessed. And that concludes the story of Subaru Corporation, an automaker with a truly Japanese spirit, where engineering became passion and rallying turned into legacy. Over more than a century, Subaru went from building warplanes for the Imperial Navy to rising from adversity and conquering the automotive world with a unique philosophy: boxer engines, all-wheel drive, and an unwavering loyalty to its core values. If you're a fan of Subaru or the automotive world, don't forget to leave us a comment. And if this story drew you in, you might want to discover how a self-taught genius who defied the education system, corporate traditions, and the status quo built one of the most influential car brands on the planet: Honda. See you in the next video.